Top 20 Deadliest Animals. Many people are afraid of animals, simply because of their appearance, like a stag beetle, pseudoscorpion, or maybe an ugly pigeon. Some people are a little more realistic and only afraid of dangerous animals, like head-sized spiders, a jellyfish, or a shark. Well, I'm telling you, these previous animals do not even belong to the top 20 deadliest animals. And no, not just the pigeons. The following list contains the most dangerous animals ranked by the real number of human victims. Let's check them out. Number 20. The tigers. 50 people each year. Tigers' living space has been declining considerably over the last century. That causes more and more contact with humanity. The vast of the attacks take place in Southeast Asia, although some smaller tiger colonies can be found also in the Far East region of Russia. Since the animal is the largest felidae, tiger can grow up to 4 meters in length and 300 kilograms in weight. They can run pretty fast, around 40 miles per hour. One person barehanded face-to-face can't really harm them. Number 19. The bees. With 60 victims per year, bee stings can be pretty dangerous. Fatalities caused usually due to allergic reactions. The most dangerous species are the Africanized bees, aka killer bees. This hybrid was firstly introduced in 1957 by crossbreeding the European and African bees for greater honey production, but several swarms have escaped and reached even the United States within 30 years. These hybrid insects are much more aggressive than their European counterparts. They can be provoked easily, and in exchange for that, they also chase the presumed invaders much further and attack them as perfectly cooperating group. Number 18. The king of animals, the lion, with 150 victims per year. Nowadays, most of the lions live in sub-Saharan Africa, and smaller colonies can be still found in India. Although their body is smaller than the tigers, they cannot complain. A male lion can grow up to 3 meters long and 250 kilograms. Although it's not common that lions yearn for human flesh, few cases have been recorded in the history when lions hunted humans specifically. Deaths are caused nowadays due to unfortunate encounters. The lion's territory has been shrunk a lot in the last century, and their population as well, which is about 20,000 nowadays. Number 17. African buffalo, with 200 victims per year. The animal also lives in sub-Saharan Africa. Subspecies are common in forested areas and also in savannas. The African buffalo is very powerful, huge animal. Their weight can reach 900 kilograms, and it's no wonder that lions can catch only the older sick ones. The African buffalo is also very aggressive and considers humans as a threat if they are close and also treats them accordingly.
Number 16.
The rhino, with 250 victims. Most of its species live in sub-Saharan Africa, however some of them live in Southeast Asia. These behemoths can reach even 2.5 tons. The animal often behaves unpredictably, as its eyesight is quite poor and cannot always accurately sense how much danger a human really means, so they attack suddenly, and yes, they are much faster than they seem. The animal is often hunted for its horn, which is used in traditional Chinese medicine, therefore their number decreases each year. Number 15. The deer, with 300 deaths. Oh dear, they aren't on the list because of their bloodthirstiness, but because of their kamikaze road crossing style. They do it all of a sudden, causing many traffic accidents. Number 14. The elephant, with 400 victims. Elephants live in the savannas and rainforests of Africa and in Southeast Asia. Attacks on humans have become more common as elephants' living space has been greatly reduced. People have been taking away more and more land from their territories to grow plants and chase away the animals, which actually need to consume up to 180 kilograms of plants a day. So they are cruising all the time looking for food, and they usually find it on the cultivated areas. No wonder there are conflicts between humans and elephants. However, a wild elephant with 6 tons wipes out anything that gets in the way. However, not the elephant is the most dangerous African big guy, but the number 13, the hippo, with 500 victims a year. Although smaller in weight than an elephant, it still has a ton and a half. Hippos are very aggressive, and in addition to their big size, their teeth are also huge and sharp. The main cause of the conflict is similar to the previous one. The surrounding farmers cultivate the land and take away their living space. Also, the smaller boats on the rivers are often attacked by the animals and got overturned. That increases the number of casualties. Number 12. The crocodile, with 1,000 victims per year. These animals live in warm, humid areas of America, Africa, Asia and Australia. Attacks are more common in the underdeveloped regions where humans live close to the territory of larger crocodiles, which can grow up to 5 meters in length. When the predator is hiding in the water, only the eyes and the nose are visible, so it's hard to spot. Most deaths occur when people take water from the river, wash their clothes, or travel on small boats, which can be easily damaged by the animal. However, not only animals with teeth can endanger humans, but also the number 11, the tapeworm, with 2,000 deaths a year. Tapeworms are the leading cause of death in developing countries. The larvae of the tapeworms enter the human body due to the contaminated water, poor hygiene, and the consumption of poorly heat-treated pork meat. When getting into the body, hatching larvae can cause cysticercosis, which then causes solid lumps under the skin. After a month, these lumps can become painful and swollen, then resolve. But if the brain becomes infected, there is a risk of epileptic seizures, which can lead to death. An adult tapeworm can grow up to 3 meters in length in the human body. That's quite ugly. Number 10 is also a beauty, the Ascaris roundworm, with 2,500 victims a year. Eggs of the roundworms get into the human body also due to poor hygiene, contaminated food and water. These creatures are much shorter in length than tapeworms, but still can reach 35 centimeters. If they are able to reproduce in the body, they cause abdominal pain and digestive problems, leading to severe malnutrition, especially in children. The inhabitants of developing countries are the most exposed to roundworms. Number 9 on the list, scorpions causing 3,000 deaths a year. Scorpions prefer warmer places of the planet, however they are able to survive -30 degrees as well. The most lethal species live in the deserts of the United States and Mexico, and also in Africa and in southern parts of Asia. Scorpions hide in their shelter during the day and during the night hunt for insects and smaller animals. Scorpions attack humans only when they feel threatened. For instance, when you step on one accidentally, since they are hard to notice. However, it's rare for a healthy adult to die of scorpion attack, but older people, children, are less able to tolerate the poisonous sting, which can lead to muscle spasms and breathing difficulties. Number 8. The tsetse fly, with 3,500 people a year. These flying insects live mainly in Central Africa. The insect feeds on blood of larger animals, which gets infected by its parasites. These parasites are responsible for the development of African sleeping sickness, which has 2 phases. In the first phase, fever, swollen face, itching skin, and joint pain occur. In the second phase, when the parasite has already infected the central nervous system, causes irreversible damage. The patient becomes confused, loses coordination abilities, disturbances in sleep-wake cycle occur, and then the organs stop to function. The sufferer falls into coma. There have been more attempts to exterminate the tsetse flies, but without any bigger success. Fortunately, the improving healthcare system and the new treatments can save hundreds of thousands lives nowadays. Number 7 is a true romantic figure, the kissing bug, with 7,000 victims. This insect is widespread from the United States to South America. The name comes from its eating habit. The insect hunts at night and sucks blood from the human body, where the skin is the thinnest, in this case usually the mouth. When the insect finished eating, uses the same place as toilet, and if the victim scratches the skin around the bite, parasites can enter to the bloodstream, which can cause Chagas disease. The first signs of the disease are enlarged lymph nodes and swelling around the injured area. After that, 30% of the victims develop additional symptoms over the next 10 to 30 years, during which the ventricles of the heart may enlarge, leading to the failure of the organ. Number 6. The sandfly, with 14,000 deaths. These blood-sucking insects mainly live along rivers and ponds in tropical areas. By feeding on blood, the leishmania parasite can get into the human body, which then leads to leishmaniasis. It's common that ulcers develop around the bite days after the pinch. The patient has no appetite and bleeding may occur. In several cases, the parasite can attack the spleen, the liver as well as the lymph nodes and bone marrow. The infection is associated with a high mortality rate. Number 5. The man's best friend, the dog, with 15,000 victims a year. It's not about the Terminator Chihuahuas, but rabies. Today, the disease still leaves many victims behind in developing countries if left untreated. In humans, symptoms due to the damage of the central nervous system appear in 3 to 6 weeks after the animal attack. The advanced stage of the disease causes swallowing difficulties, seizures, fever, excessive salivation, followed by partial paralysis, loss of consciousness, and eventually death. Number 4. The freshwater snail, with 20,000 victims. The animal is the host for the schistosoma larvae, which reproduces and develops to the next phase of its life cycle. After that, the parasite leaves the snail and enters to the water column. It needs the mammalian host within 48 hours. Into the human body, it gets through the skin. The symptoms of the victim may vary depending on how the larva and its eggs migrate through the body. Eventually, liver damage or kidney failure can occur. But the worst is, when the intruder reaches the brain or spinal cord, then the result is paralysis. Fishermen, farmers, and young children from tropical developing countries are at greatest risk. The third place belongs to the snake, with 80,000 casualties in a year. Snakes are widespread and can be found in most countries. However, out of 2,000 snake species, only 250 can endanger humans. Let's just say it's still a lot. But you have to know that snakes do not attack humans for fun, only if they feel threatened. I hope you have calmed down. A tiny problem is that their camouflage skin prevents them to be easily spotted, and they do feel threatened if you go close to them or even step on them. Anyways, snake bites are extremely painful. Some snake venom causes swelling and blistering and eventually leads to tissue death, necrosis, and kidney damage. Besides, some snake venom attacks the central nervous system, causing vision problems and breathing difficulties. However, if proper help arrives on time, snakebite is rarely fatal. That is why most deaths occur in developing countries, where the injured person does not receive adequate medical treatment or antivenom. The second most dangerous species on Earth are humans, with 500,000 murders per year. While the average homicide rate in West European countries is below 1 per 100,000 people, in Africa, Central and South America, this figure can reach 60. Civil, drug and gang wars cause a lot of casualties. For humanity, there is still place for improvement here. And the first place goes to our favorite flying pet, the mosquito, with 750,000 victims a year. The Anopheles mosquito is the main contributor to this enormous number. And the reason is, the animal spreads the malaria disease. The people in tropical developing countries are mostly endangered. The disease was previously thought to be caused by the bad air quality in tropical swamps, but later it was discovered that mosquitoes are the source of the trouble. When an infected mosquito bites the victim, first injects saliva into the body to prevent the blood from clotting. That is how the virus gets into humans. At the beginning, the victim suffers from fever, headaches, muscle aches, chills, and malaise. The pathogens first attack the liver and then re-enter to the bloodstream, where they attack the red blood cells and break them apart or create a sticky surface on them, and the other blood cells nearby stick on that surface, eventually causing blockage of the narrower blood vessels. This makes it impossible for the spleen to purify the blood, leading to damage of the main organs. And it may also trigger anemia, thus an inadequate immune response. If this happens in the brain, it can easily cause coma and death. Fortunately, the number of deaths caused by malaria is decreasing year by year due to the improved health situation in the most threatened regions. Hopefully, malaria will be soon only part of the history books. That was it for today, guys. See you next time. And be careful, at least with the deers.